Om Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. Master with a smile. But Shashadhar is not just a scholar. He also has a little discrimination and dispassion. Discrimination and dispassion. Viveka Vairagya. A Pandit who was present said to Sri Ramakrishna, "You are indeed a great soul. Master, you may say that about sages like Narada, Prahlada or Shukadeva. I am like your son." Of course, in one sense, your words are true. It is said that in one respect, the devotee of God is greater than God himself because he carries God in his heart. All rejoice. How the words, expressions, feelings are brought out, you see. It is said that in the Vaishnava books, a devotee regards himself as higher and God as lower being. Yashoda, the mother of Krishna, was about to fetter Krishna, who was God incarnate, with chains. She believed that no one but herself could take care of Krishna. Sometimes God acts as magnet and devotee as needle. God attracts the devotee to himself. Again, sometimes the devotee acts as the magnet and God as the needle. Such is the attention of the devotee, attraction of the devotee, that God comes to him, unable to resist his love, and that is what has happened. Shashadhar's little, a small amount of, a little dispassion towards the world, and Viveka, the discrimination regarding eternal and transitory, has made God to go to his house wherever he is there. Instead of his coming to Ramakrishna, Ramakrishna has gone there to meet him and see him. If you have a small amount of virtue that attracts God, why these things are there? Because the greatness of a human being is there in rejecting the enjoyments of the world. Why is he called Mahatma, great person? He has the power of discrimination that discriminates between real and unreal, permanent and impermanent, eternal and transitory, good and bad, right and wrong. This discrimination power is there. Whoever possesses this discriminatory power, and knowing that something is impermanent, he gets not detached, dispassion towards it. It is there or not, it doesn't matter. That kind of understanding. Oh, it is impermanent. If it is there also, it doesn't matter. If it is not there also, it doesn't matter. Because it is not going to be there. Sometime it will disappear. During our vision, our own times, the master was about to leave for Dakshineshwar. Ishan and other devotees stood around him while he gave Ishan various words of advice. Master, a devotee who can call on God while living as a householder is a hero indeed. If a householder with all loads, duties and responsibilities, if he can give his mind to God, what more is needed? What thing greater than that is there? He is indeed a hero. God thinks, he who has renounced the world for my sake will surely pray to me. He must serve me. Is there anything very remarkable about it? People will cry shame on him if he fails to do so. But he is blessed indeed who prays to me in the midst of the worldly duties. He is trying to find me, overcoming a great obstacle, pushing away, as it were, huge block of stone weighing a ton. Such a man is a real hero. A devotee who can call on God while living as a householder. I'm going back. Householder's life is a hero indeed. Householder's life, you know how much duties and responsibilities, problems he has to face constantly. One problem, somehow you try to solve, the other problem is standing, and the two are standing there. So there is no end, like when you're standing on the bank of a ocean, waiting for the waves to subside. They never. One wave comes, the subside, before it subsides, already second wave is ready there. Like that, problems appear in the householder's life. And if he can give his mind to God, who can call on God, is a hero indeed amidst all that. Then he again continues, I am reading again the second line. God thinks, he who has renounced the world for my sake will surely pray to me. If somebody who has renounced the world, like a sannyasi, has given up, he has no duties and responsibilities. Householders have duties and responsibilities. He is carrying a huge burden on his head. With that burden to call on God is very difficult. While a sannyasi doesn't have any responsibilities or duties. He goes for baking, collects the food, eats. He has to call on me, God says. If he calls on me, there is nothing to be surprised. What else he will do? And he doesn't have anything. I have to provide him. He has to pray me. He has to call on me. There is nothing surprising, and it is inevitable for him. The one who has renounced the world for my sake will surely pray to me. He must serve me. Just like I go and take refuge in someone, whatever he says, whatever he expects, I have to do. Is there anything very remarkable about it? People will cry shame on him if he fails to do, if he doesn't call on God day and night, when he has no other duties and responsibilities. God has taken away all duties and responsibilities because he has renounced for God's sake. And who else will people will say he's renounced and he doesn't call on God at all. He's idling his life and wasting it, people will say. So, but he is blessed indeed who prays to me in amidst the worldly duties. Morning he has to get up, go for earning, or for plowing the land, or some means of food he has to gather and take care of the family. People will be sick, somebody has to go to school. All this, one or the other, amidst that is calling on God. He is trying to find me, overcoming great obstacle. The householder, as if a ton-weighing stone is standing before him, he is pushing aside, trying to push that aside and walk forth. Pushing away, as it were, a huge block of stone weighing a ton. Such a man is a real hero. With great, all round, as if stakes are standing to pierce, amidst that he is there and neglecting all that, with all that fear, anxiety and everything, he is calling on God. Pandit, you are right, sir. The scripture says the same thing. There is in Mahabharata the story of the pious hunter and the chaste woman. Once a hermit was disturbed in his meditation by a crow. When he cast an angry glance at the bird, it was reduced to ashes. The hermit said to himself, "Oh, I have destroyed the crow by mere glance. I must have made great progress in spiritual life." One day he went to a woman's house to beg his food. She was devoted to her husband and served him day and night. She provided him with water to wash his feet and even dried them with her hair. When the hermit knocked at the door for alms, she was serving her husband and could not open the door at once. The hermit, in a fit of anger, began to curse her. The chaste woman answered from the inner apartments, "I am not your crow. Wait for a few minutes, sir. After finishing my service to my husband, I shall give you my attention." The hermit was very much surprised to find that this simple woman was aware of his having burned the crow to ashes. He wanted her to give him spiritual instruction. At her bidding, he went to the pious hunter at Benares. This hunter sold meat and he also served his parents day and night as embodiments of God. A worldly man, how can he give me the knowledge of Brahman? But the hunter was knower of Brahman and had acquired the divine knowledge through the performance of his worldly duties. The hermit was illumined by instruction of the pious hunter, just doing the duties of life. How it evolves, makes the soul evolve. That just following dharma, follow your dharma. What is your duty? Wherever you are, at any time, what is your duty? Just go on doing. The whole thing we see in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna trying to impress on the mind of Arjuna, who wants to run away from the war field out of attachments for his people, neglecting his duties and responsibilities. Krishna says, do your duties. Most important part is, if you do your duties alone, you can evolve. and by grace of God, you can attain the knowledge of the Supreme Brahman. So there we see the important part again and again reinstills in the heart of the Arjuna, and all of us in and through Arjuna, is just by doing your duties and offering it to me, the Lord of the universe, you will realize God. You will transcend all the entire nature forever. So that aspect, she was just totally devoted to her husband's service, and she has the capacity to know who has come, what is his history. The moment he gets angry and shouts at her, he comes, knocks at the door, she is busy inside, she took little time to open the door. Within that, because he is a hermit and he expects people not making fun or taunting him or being unjust to him. So he wants immediate response. She doesn't, because she is busy with the service. She cannot leave and come. She makes a little delay. Within that, he is shouting from the door outside. And he is shouting, is cursing. Immediately she replies from inside, I am not the crow. His crow disturbed his meditation, and at a glance it was burned down. So she is aware of this incident. Yes, now I am not your crow that you will be able to do. I am doing my duties, I will come in a minute. And then goes. Then immediately he realizes, oh, I have not realized God. But she already knows what has happened in my life. If an hour before, she knows the inner in and out of me, then ask her to give him spiritual instructions. She sends to a man in Banaras who is a seller of meat, is a butcher, and as soon as you is killing animals and selling, what spiritual light he can give me, he thinks. But it will be entirely different. He is knower of Brahman. He is a realized, enlightened soul doing his duties. The duties has come from his great ancestors. They are butchers by caste, and they go bring the animals and sell the meat. Killing and selling is his duty. There he gets enlightenment in and through just doing his duties. And then he understands how deep the concepts are. But the hunter was a knower of Brahman and had acquired divine knowledge through performance of his duties, worldly duties. Madarthamapi karmani kurvan siddhim avapsasi. Doing just your duties as an offering to me, you will realize God. What a person renounces and goes and sits in the forest caves and realizes the truth. Same thing by doing your duties and offering to God. Just duty, no other spiritual practices. You will realize God. That's the assurance. The hermit was illumined by the instruction of the pious hunter. The master was able to take his leave. He was standing at the door of the next house where Ishan's father-in-law lived. Ishan and his other devotees stood by the master. They were waiting to bid him goodbye. Sri Ramakrishna said to Ishan, live in the world like an ant. The world consists of a mixture of truth and untruth. Satyanritam mithuni kritya lokoyam vyavahara. In this, right truth and falsehood are together. It's a duality, world of duality. Good and bad are there. Dharma and adharma is there. All dualities are there. Take only what is good and right. Bhadran karnebe shunuyama devaha. Oh God, make me such an instrument that I no more see what is abhadra, what is bad, what is unrighteous, all this adharma, all this. May I not be able to see at all. May I be able to see good alone in this world. Because it's the admixture of good and bad. Once you renounce bad and hold on to good, that to the extent that you are not able to pay attention to that, or you are not able to recognize the difference, you have already transcended the world and all its aspects. Live in the world like an ant. The world consists of a mixture of truth and untruth, sugar and sand. Be an ant to take the sugar. Sand and sugar is mixed and put somewhere. The ant just takes only sugar and goes away. Sand will be left behind. The span is given, the term is used is span. Span takes milk part and leaves the water contained in the milk as it is. The master was about to take the sugar. Again, the world is a mixture of milk and water. The bliss of God consciousness and pleasure of the sense enjoyments. Be a swan to drink the milk, leaving the water beside. The world is a mixture of milk and water. Take the milk, leave the water behind. Live in the world like a waterfall. The water clings to the bird, but the bird shakes it off. Live in the world like a mudfish. There is a fish called mudfish. It lives in the mud, but mud doesn't smear to it. Fish lives in the mud, but its skin is always bright and shiny. Even lotus comes out from the mud. It is mixture, water and soil mixed, and so many rotten things will be the leaves, these, that, and all get rotten, and it becomes a fleshy. And from that, the lotus emerges out. Water and mud is there below. It is sustained by it. It is taking its nourishment from that. It is surviving from that. And this lotus remains untouched by the water. If the pond water falls on it like pearls, it falls off. It doesn't stick. Ordinary leaves, if you put water, it just becomes wetted. Lotus leaves and lotus itself doesn't get wetted. Live like mudfish. The fish lives in the mud, but its skin is always bright and shiny. The world is indeed mixture of truth and make-believe. Discard the make-believe and take the truth. It makes itself, it presents itself in a way you trust it, you accept it. How it you see? The illusory, it presents as yours. It is not yours. Any object, every object we have to leave and go. Body itself. I not only take body as mine, but as myself. It is presenting itself as yourself. I am yourself. Objects, wife, children, family, husband, all this, they are presenting I am yours, I am yours. They leave and go away. Discard the make believe and they take the truth. These are all make believe. It is making you believe I am yours. Body is making believe I am you. Give it up. It is all make believe. It is making itself believe that it is mine. The mother has given birth to a child. She has right to give birth to a child. She can never call the child as mine. It belongs to nature. Nature has made her to give birth to a child. If she did not will, if she was unable to create a child by her own will, the nature has planned. Nature has given the freedom. Nature has given all the instruments required in that body to give birth to a child. If it is not, she cannot. A barren woman cannot give birth to a child. So a fertile woman alone can give birth to a child. This fertility belongs to nature. She has presented. So this is possible. Where is that I? It is making believe it is mine. I am yours. Which life? What? Whose life? Who am I? Where am I? The world induces discard the make-believe and take the truth. Sri Ramakrishna got into the carriage and left for Dakshineshwar. Story has left for Dakshineshwar. And with that, the chapter on Pundit Shashadhar ends. We will be beginning in the next class. 25th chapter, the advice to Pundit Shashadhar is continuing. Advice to Shashadhar. That is visit to Shashadhar. Pundit Shashadhar. Advice to next chapter will be advice to Pundit Shashadhar, chapter 25. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.